Hi everybody, my name is Chastiny and welcome to my channel where I do all sorts of things now on Friday. This is my son Petey. He's a very lovely little boy. Yeah, get that good stretch. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning family member, how you doing? What you been up to? How's 2020 going so far? I hope it's fine. Are you breaking the cycle? Break the cycle. I don't know what cycle needs to be broken, but you need to break the cycle. So, today I'm going to be trying something a little different. I tend to be very critical about people's writing when I'm reading a book. Mainly because I have to pay for the book, and if it's not great, I'm not going to be happy about it. Because, I could use that money to do something else, like buy gum. It should come to no surprise to anybody that being the avid reader that I am, I also like to write stories. I've been doing it for many, many years. Mostly because I ran out of Harry Potter books to read because they hadn't come out yet. So I started reading fan fiction. And I was like, oh yeah, I could do this writing thing. And I started writing my own fan fiction. And it was horrible. It's absolutely horrible. But guess what 30-year-old me did? 30-year-old me found all of it. And I decided what I'm going to do today is I'm going to read a chapter of it. And I'm going to react to the chapter that I wrote. Now, this story that I'm going to be reading is called All at Once by Chastiny Gladden. Thank you. All at Once was a fan fiction that I decided to change all the name of the fan fiction people so that it will fit as its own original story. Can I just say, now that I think about it more, it sounds more like what they did with the Twilight fan fiction where it was like raunchy and stuff, so they made it its own thing. That's basically what I did. I 50 Shades of Grey'd it, except there's like not a lot of explicit like the sex or anything like that in there because I was 13. I don't know how to write that stuff. All at Once is about two female leading characters, Doe and Alex. Doe is the daughter of the director of a very famous movie series franchise that's going on right now, and she's dating the lead guy in the movie series. Alex is a fan fiction writer who gets noticed by the author, and the author is like, I really like your character, we should put her in my book and we'll put her in the next movie and just kind of milk her in there so that no one's really super surprised when she comes out in the next movie, in the next book. Of course, two female characters can't be friends. There's always an enemy somewhere. Anyway, one of them's pregnant, the other one's becoming a movie star, and next thing you know, they're fighting over a guy who one of them don't even want. On to chapter 1. Yay! I hope you guys stay around, and I hope this video isn't too long. Oh god. Oh well. If you want to, I think you should probably, when you're listening to this, maybe clean or make something with your hands. It's more one of those things you put on in the background and listen. I would do that. All at Once, chapter 1. It was nearing the end of April, and Dolores Ann McKay walked out of her bedroom wiping her mouth for what seemed like the 100th time this week. God, don't let me be sick, please. She prayed, running her hands through her long, black, freshly straightened hair. The last thing she needed was to catch a cold right before one of the most important parties she would ever have, her 16th birthday party. Dolores studied herself in the mirror, looking at her green eyes as if she was having a staring contest. So, obligatory character describing themselves in the mirror, right? I was 13. Don't at me. Her eyeliner wasn't right. Her left eye looked darker. Yes, she thought, taking a step closer. It was definitely darker than the right. She picked up a Q-tip and wiped some of it off the black. Yeah, I wasn't a good typer. She studied her eyes again, looking for the slightest imperfection. Dolores smiled. Her eyeliner was perfect. She took a step back and looked at her figure. You have small boobs and no hips, she said, turning from side to side. Dolores gave a cheesy smile before walking downstairs. Her dad, Ted McKay, was in the study working. Mr. McKay was the director of the Zach Carter movies. Wonder what movie franchise that is. The Zach Carter movies were based on books, as many movies were these days. The book was about 3 teens: Zach Carter, Tony Wilson, and Daniel Parr, picked by a dying earthbound angel to save the human race from the evil Jake H. Price, who wants to rule the world and enslave others who are not part of his master race. Can I just say that Jake is not a very scary name? I know a lot of guys named Jake, and I'm not afraid of not one of them. Jake isn't a very scary name, not to me. So I don't know why I left his name Jake. Before the angel can tell them the whole mission, she was killed by the shadow of death, followers of Jake. All the 3 know is they have to find the King of Ares, steal the light, and destroy it before Jake can use its power for evil. If they fail, Jake would rule the world. The book had become so popular that someone thought it would be a good idea to make it into the movie. Okay, so, repetition. Repeat. The first book is called Zach Carter and the King of Ares. The second one is called Zach Carter in the Devil's Cave. And the third book is called Zach Carter in the House of the Shadow of Death. Can I just say, those books' titles still sound really good. And it sounds more like the lightning bolt thief kind of books, The first 2 books have been made into a movie. The third book had been out for 1 year and was just starting the script for the movie. Doe watched her dad from the door frame and thought of her mother. Her mother was in America with that boyfriend of hers, Mark. Her parents were newly divorced. They had been separated for the last 2 years. Ever since Ted came home to find his wife Laura kissing his best friend, he moved to New York. Then after trying to work it out, he divorced her and hightailed it to London. Now, Doe was born and reared in the States. And she had a great love for her US of A. And yes, I wrote US of A. However, there was no way in hell she was going to stay with her mother. If Dad was leaving, she would too. It's almost been 2 years since they walked out on her mom. "Hi there, Daddy, dearest," Doe said, flashing the cutest smile she could master. Mr. McKay looked up from his papers. He looked like he was posing for a picture with his straight back and broad shoulders. Even though he was sitting down, he looked like his height was about 6'3". Mr. McKay looked at his daughter with his own green eyes. Green eyes. Wonder where I got that from. He stretched his long arms over his head, lacing his fingers together and bringing them to rest on top of his short black hair. Mr. McKay had a strong jawline that he flexed a little, wondering what she was about to ask. Doe had to admit she had an attractive dad, which I was like, now I'm like, ew. But, when someone look good, someone look good. Her dad once appeared on Gada's magazine's top 10 hottest daddies. "Glad to see you're up," he said, flashing a freshly whitened teeth. If we keep up this whole me reading things that I wrote as a child, you will know that I am obsessed with freshly whitened teeth. I don't know why. I think I just wanted my teeth whitened when I was younger. "How are you feeling?" Doe laid on the sofa and closed her eyes. "I think I have a fever," she said. Mr. McKay got up and placed his hand on her forehead. "You don't feel warm to me." He checked her eyes. "The only way for me to feel better is if I take your credit card to the mall," Doe said weakly, then adding, "the one with no limit." Her father gave a booming laugh. "Ha ha, nice try," he said, sitting back down behind his desk. Doe got on her knees, prepared to beg. "Please, Daddy, I have to buy my Sweet 16 outfit. My party's in 3 days." She crawled to him. Mr. McKay kept up an emotionless face as she poked out her lip and widened her eyes. It wasn't working. "Daddy!" she cried. All right. Here, take it." He handed her the card. "Why don't you become an actress and put those talents to some good use? I'll never know." Doe took the card and gave him a kiss on the cheek. Thank you, she said, walking to the door. This time I won't max it out. Don't say things like that to me. I almost keeled over when I saw your phone bill, he said weakly. Doe picked up the telephone in the living room. This is when it becomes a time capsule. Watch this. Speed dial Tricia Pickens, she said, holding the M2 button. And for those who don't know, back in the day, we had phones that stayed at home, the house phone. And on the house phone, there was buttons that you can push to speed dial somebody. So you didn't have to go type in their number. It was just saved. Kind of like the phone you have now where you can just look for the name. But we had M2, speed dial. So, yeah, I'm that old. She said, hitting the button, the M2 button, Tasha Pickens was Doe's best friend and the actress who played Tony in the ZTD movies. Alright, so the next part of this format was it's like a script. So it'll say Tasha, whatever she says, in a little description. And then Doe, whatever she says, and looks like I finished the story, and this is how I left it. Anyway. Tricia, House of Chicken and Pancakes, Tricia speaking, said a lightly springy voice with a slight British accent. Doe, Trish, why can't you answer the phone like a normal person? Trish, FYI, is dull. Doe, sits down and turns on the TV. What you up to? Trish, nothing much. Why? You got something planned? I was thinking we could go shopping. I have to get by my sweet 16 outfit. By the way, who waits 3 days until their birthday comes? The most important day of their life, sweet 16, and she's waiting 3 days to pick her outfit. Can you tell this was written by not an adult? Not an adult. Okay. Tricia, I guess I can make room for you, even though I have a busy life. Doe, rolling her eyes, then got up and headed to her room. Why, thank you for letting me shop with you. I will always cherish it. Tricia, Doe, remind me to buy some tampons when we're out. Doe, I'll remind you if you remind me. I don't think she talks like that. I'll remind you if you remind me. I haven't gotten any either. And it should be any day now. Doe was looking at her calendar. There was a little gold star on April 21st. Jesus, Lord have mercy. What? If you can't tell, the British accent is Tricia right now. What? Doe didn't answer. She was supposed to be on her period around a week ago. Dolores and McKay, say something, Trish yelled. Dolores snapped back to reality. Ouch, what? Doe said, holding the phone away from her ear. Are you okay? Yeah, I just zoned out. I was looking at a picture of David. What kind of picture do you have of him to give you that response? Which is not really a non-response, but whatever. Oh, okay. To give you that response, Doe. Look, I'll meet you in an hour. Her voice was cheerful, but her face had no trace of a smile, which I have tried over the years to say, okay, well, I'll be back. I'll meet you in an hour without any, I'm trying to sound happy, but with no visible, smile. Okay, honey, I'll talk to you in a little bit. Thank you. That's as close as I get, but whoever could do this, great acting. I can't do it. Tricia. Oh, you're not going to answer me? There was a pause. All right, fine. I'll come over to your place. Cool. I'll see you in a little. I'm late, she thought. Doe argued with herself why she was late. She finally convinced herself that it was stress. She was stressed out. After all, it's a stressful job to plan a Sweet 16 birthday party. Then again, there was another possibility. Doe and her boyfriend had the sex. Doe and her boyfriend had sex for the first time a couple of weeks ago. Where am I? I can't be pregnant. Things like that don't happen to someone like me. She thought, but what if I am? Then the thought sent a chill down her spine. The next thought almost killed her. David, what would he do? Oh, what about my dad? What would Xander say? Xander was another actor. He played Jake. Still not a very threatening name, but okay. He played Jake, the evil guy who wants to kill the rest of the world and rule it. Kill the people and rule the world. Of course, Xander was nothing like his character. He was sweet and kind-hearted person, tall, white, icy blue eyes. Xander had dirty blonde hair and a smile to die for. He had once told Dolores that he loved her. She was the only person he loved. However, she loved David. And Xander made up his mind to step aside. All he wanted was for Doe to be happy. And if David made her happy, then so be it. David and Xander had a bittersweet friendship, even though they fought over her years ago. Not only would she have to tell Xander, which was hard enough, she would have to tell her father. And then the press would find out. Oh no. Shopping is the #1 stress reliever, Doe said, as she and Tricia had done shopping today. Do you see what I'm saying? She and Tricia done some shopping today. Ah, Jesus. They went into every store they passed. Their bags were loaded with clothes, makeup, etc. Now they were standing in line waiting to order lunch. Bags hanging from each hand. We get it. Welcome to the food shack, said a tall red-headed boy. I'll have a hot dog all the way, extra fries, and a large Coke with the crunchy ice and a chocolate chip cookie, Doe said. Wow, how a little tyke like you eat all that so much, I'll never know, he floated a little. Lucky, I guess. Lucky, I guess, Doe said, dazzling him with her smile. Doe, that is a lot of food, Tricia said, looking at her plate. Doe took a bite of her hot dog. Mo, it's not. Her mouth was full of food, so instead of no, it's not, it's mo, it's not. Mo, it's not. She said, her mouth full. Tricia rolled her eyes. So after we eat, we'll go get our nails done. Yep. Then I have to go get fitted for my dress, Tricia said. What dress? Tricia took a sip of her soda. The red carpet dress. Doe looked at her with fries sticking out of her mouth. That's like what, 4 months away? She asked. I know, but I don't want to pick it out. She chewed her food at the last minute dress. Just then, a little girl with green eyes, I'm telling you, green eyes, with golden green eyes and long blonde hair stepped to their table. She looked about 6. The little girl batted her long lashes and smiled. Are you Tricia Pickings? She asked in the cutest British baby's accent. Yes, I am. And what's your name? Tricia said. I'm Amanda, and my brother thinks you're hot, she said. Doe and Tricia started laughing. Can I have your autograph? She asked. You sure can. Hop up on my lap, Tricia said. Amanda hopped up. Do you have a pen? Tricia asked Dolores. It's in here somewhere in this thing, Doe said, diving in her pocketbook. You're David's girlfriend, Amanda said. Yup, that's me. I think he's cute, Amanda went on. Doe handed her a pen and paper. So young and already such good tasting men, Doe said, smiling. Amanda, where are your parents? Tricia said. At work. I'm here with my brother, Todd, she said. Tricia and Doe looked around. Where is he? Doe asked Amanda. He ran to the loo. Okay, I should tell you that when I wrote this, I Googled and printed out pages upon pages of British slang, and then I was like, the meanings were next to it so I could use it in the right context because I wanted this to be authentic. He ran to the loo and told Mark to watch me, but he's working. See? Amanda pointed to the boy who took their order. He was stocking cups. There's Todd, Amanda said, pointing to a really cute boy with curly black hair and brown eyes. Wow, now that's what I call fine, Tricia said before she could stop herself. She went into a daze. Doe waved her hand in Tricia's face. What? Tricia said, jumping a little. She pointed to Amanda, who was smiling at her. Oh yeah, what do you want it to say? Tricia asked. Dolores saw Todd looking around. I'm gonna go get Todd before he has a panic attack, Doe said, getting up. I wanted to say to Amanda, who I had a nice chat with at the food shack, Tricia Pickens. Tricia laughed and started writing. By the time she was finished, Todd and Doe came around. I'm so sorry, Todd said. He was red in the face. Amanda, why are you on her lap? Get up, Todd said. He said a lot. Well, she said I could. Well, she said I could, Amanda said, getting up. No, it's all right. No, it's all right. I had fun talking with her, Tricia said, getting up. Todd, I told Tricia you think she's hot, and she said you're fine, Amanda said. Doe laughed at the horror on Todd and Tricia's face. Really? I should really change names a little bit. Todd and Tricia, TT? Oh my god. Give me 5, girl, Doe said, holding her hand up to Amanda, who slapped it. Well, it was nice meeting you, Todd said, taking Amanda's hand. Hey, I did all that hard work and you're not going to ask her for a number? Amanda said, putting her hands on her hip. Todd turned red once again. Tricia smiled. Come on, he muttered. No, wait. Not Dolores. No, wait, Tricia said. Doe's eyes got big. Maybe you and I could, get something to eat. We don't want to waste your sister's effort, she said. What? Yes, of course, Todd said. Tricia wrote her number on the back of the autographed paper. Todd held the paper in his hand. I'll, call you, he said. Tricia waved goodbye. Don't forget to sit by the phone and wait for Todd to call, Doe said, smiling. Tricia made a face as the cab drove off. Okay, so yeah, that was a big jumping scene. We didn't even get to see their nails getting done or nothing. I just kind of was like, nah, we don't need that. Stop by the drugstore real quick, Doe said to the driver. Doe picked up a packet of tampons, 3 pregnancy tests, and a large strawberry milkshake. She paid in cash. 10 minutes later, Doe walked into the house. She went straight to her room to put the test under her bed. Hi, Daddy, she said, running back to the kitchen. Mr. McKay was making dinner. How much did you spend? He asked weakly. Doe laughed. I think I melted the sucker. Which, by the way, that came from, what's that movie? Soul Plane, where he's like, oh yeah, I think I melted the sucker. Little guy got swagged out at the airport. Anyway, what did you buy? He asked. An outfit, a pocketbook, some shoes, some makeup, she said. He looked at her. Her father had his reasons. Doe did have a bit, that was capitalized, all of it, a bit of a shopping problem. Let's hope. Hungry? No, I had a big lunch and a snack on the way home, Doe said. Well, what are you doing tomorrow? He asked. Well, I'm going to reflect on my 15 years of life. Why? He gave her a cutting board and a knife and a bell pepper. A cutting board, knife, and bell pepper. I am still using the grammar right. Small pieces. I'm going to be gone all day and I don't want to leave you home, he said. Doe tipped the peppers into a frying pan with the tomatoes. I'll be all right. Well, I'm going in my room and put my stuff up, she said, getting up. After putting up her things and reading and then rereading the instructions to the pregnancy test, she peed on the stick. Now all she had to do was wait 3 minutes. Doe started pacing. What if it's positive? What if I'm having David's baby? My dad is going to kill him and me. That and many other thoughts went through her mind. Doe started running the bath water. 2 minutes. 2 minutes now. She thought as she tipped the bubble bath into the water. Great bubble mountains began to form. 1 minute. This was the longest minute of her life. Stopping the water, she picked up the, wow. Really when I think about it, that is like, she's waiting 3 minutes and she filled up a bathtub with lots of water and mountain foam. Like, that's, my concept of time wasn't there. She stopped the water and picked up the stick, not daring to look at it as she sat on the toilet. It's okay, Doe, she whispered to herself. Taking a deep breath, Doe looked at it. The stick read pregnant. Her whole world shattered. She was numb. You could blow a hole through her foot and she wouldn't even feel it. All right, she thought. I'll just take a bath and retake the test. She did. Same answer. Pregnant. Of all the people in the world, why me? As if she can't take responsibility for the fact that she did something she wasn't supposed to. She got it in, now you got to deal with your consequences. Why me? She asked. Tomorrow, she would take the last test, then go to the doctor's. Doe didn't sleep at all that night. When she would close her eyes, she would see the faces of the people she would have to tell. She could see David running for his life. Then sometimes Doe would see a little girl with long black hair like hers and hazel eyes like David. There would be a boy who looked like David in every way but the eyes. He would have her father's eyes, which means her eyes, because they're green eyes. Yeah, green eyes. First thing in the morning, Doe looked at the test, hoping against hope, praying that it was negative. Pregnant, Doe thought. Morning sickness, she said, spitting out mouthwash. Her dad had left a note about how he would be gone and to have a happy last day of 15. Doe didn't feel so happy. She took a shower, ate, and called Dr. Kate Singleton. That was actually a name of one of my teachers. So she wasn't a doctor. Her name was, oh wow, Kate Singleton. Oops. Greenville Medical Center, how may I help you? Said a woman, with a thick British. Nope, I'm not even going to try it. With a woman with a thick British accent. Yes, I would like to talk to Dr. Singleton, she said. Who may I ask is calling? Dolores McKay. Hold, please. Hello, Dolores, said the doctor. Hey, she said, trying her best to sound cheerful. What did your father do now? She asked. Nothing. I was wondering if I could come see you, Dr. Doe said. Why? Dr. Singleton asked. I just would like to see you, like now. Doe heard her sigh. Come in. 10 painful minutes later, Doe busted into the library. I'm here to see. Doe started. The lady pointed to the door. Doe ran through. She stopped at the door that read Dr. Singleton and collected herself before knocking on the door. This is a lot to say. Come in. Doe walked into... I'm sorry, I didn't see that part. Okay. Come in. Doe walked in. And then in parentheses it says, describe office. Dolores, you look so nice. Have a seat. Dolores sat down looking around. So why did you have to see me? She asked. Doe looked around for a moment. Well, I was hoping that you could run a pregnancy test on me. Dr. Singleton sat back. Doe went on while she was still brave. I took 3 at-home tests and they all turned up positive, Doe said, not looking at the doctor. She could feel her eyes on her. Dolores Ann McKay, have you been having sex? She asked. Dolores looked up. Yeah, that's kind of why I want the test. Before the test, I have a few questions, she said. Doe nodded. Dr. Singleton took out a pen and paper. When is the last time you had the sex? Kate said. Around April. Kate made a note. If it turns out you're pregnant, are you going to keep the baby, give it up for adoption, or have an abortion? Doe thought, there's no way I'm having an abortion. That's way out of the question. Why am I even thinking about this? Can I just say that my mindset has changed over the years? I now think, do what you want. Because I can't live with your consequences. Only you can. So you do what's best for you. That's way out of the question. Why am I even thinking about this? I'm keeping my baby, Doe said. Kate gave a weak smile. Do you know who the father is? Doe nodded. David. Dr. Singleton got up. Follow me. 5 minutes later, Doe walked out of the bathroom holding a warm cup of pee. Well, when will I know the results? She asked, handing Dr. Singleton the cup. Sometime tomorrow. Would you like me to come by the house or call? She asked. Doe shook her head. No, just call my cell phone, she said. Doctor gave Doe a bag. This is in case you are. There are little booklets about things about motherhood, suggested books to read. Doe looked at the floor. Dolores, I'm proud that you came and got checked. It took me 3 weeks to get looked at, and I was 25. She pulled Doe into a hug. You're a lot braver than most girls, Dr. Singleton said in a motherly tone. Okay, so it would not take a whole day to figure out if someone's pregnant, but I didn't know that. Young me had no idea that was the thing, so. Doe went home, ate, cried, and slept. Definitive. However, she spent most of her time reading everything in the little bag. She found herself thinking about the next room. That could be the baby's room. She would think about the toys and the clothes. She would think about David. She stuffed the thin booklets into the bag and stashed it under her bed. She didn't want her dad to see them when he popped in the next morning. "Good morning, Doe. Happy birthday," her dad yelled as he busted into the room. "I'm up," Doe said, sitting up straight. She looked at her clock. It was 7:30. When she looked at her dad, he was holding the tray. "Oh, Daddy, breakfast in bed," Doe said. Ted set the tray over Doe's lap. A bagel, plain cream cheese, sat on the tray along with the juice box next to it. "Thank you, Daddy," she said, hugging him. Honestly, that's what I ate for the longest time. A plain bagel with the juice box. That was my staple breakfast because I was just obsessed. "No matter how old you get, you will always be my baby, and I love you," Ted said. He kissed her on the top of his head. "I love you too." Ted took a bite of her bagel. "Eat, shower, come downstairs and see the cake I made you," he said, closing the door. Doe stood in front of the mirror. An hour later, she had on baby fat product placement. She had on a blue baby fat shirt and a black pair of pants that said "sexy" across the back pocket. She turned and looked at her figure from the side. "You'll never have this figure again," she thought as she flipped her curls over one shoulder. Making sure her cell phone was on silent, she walked down the stairs. "So where's my cake?" she asked, skipping into the kitchen. Ted pulled out a large cake pan. "Close your eyes, all right? Remember I made it." Doe could tell he was smiling. 1, 2, 3, open! And when she did, there was the most amazing cake. Not even a cake, a work of art. It was in the shape of a cell phone that had a text message that said "Happy B-Day Doe," written in I'll write it up here. "Happy B-Day Doe, winky smiley face." Because, we didn't have emojis back then. No. Then, at the bottom of the cake, it said, "Ted McKay Original." "Do you like it?" he asked. "Oh, Daddy, I love it," Doe squealed. She gave her father a hug. "I still think you should have become a cake designer instead of a director." Mr. McKay brushed invisible dirt off his shoulders. "Let me have my props. Props to Daddy," she said. The phone rang. "I got it," she said, running to the phone. "Hello?" Doe said in a sing-song voice. "Happy birthday," said a deep voice. Doe laughed. It sounded like a guy trying to be manly. She had an idea of who it was. "David?" she asked. "You got it, baby cakes." I don't know why. "You got it, baby cakes," he said. "God, is he trying to jinx me?" she thought when he said the word baby. So how are you?" he asked. "Fine, how about you?" she asked. Same old. I got you a gift yesterday. You'll never guess what it is." David teased her over the phone. Dolores' eyes lit up. David always got her something unthinkable. "Is it a car?" she guessed. "Doe, you can't even drive. You get on the wrong side of the road," David said. Doe looked at her phone. "I can drive, I just can't drive here yet," she said. "Whatever, keep guessing." A we? Product placement? A we? Nope. Doe snapped her fingers. "I know, it's a large cutout of you and some darts," she said happily. "Just for that, I'm not going to give you any hints," he said. "Come on, tell me, I was just teasing. Please give me a hint," Doe said. David sighed on the other side of the phone. Because apparently I figured out how to write conversation over the phone without it just being a script. Yeah, I did that. "Fine, I'll give you a hint." There was silence. "Go on," Doe said. "I know and you don't. Ha 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 ha," he said through the sing-song through the phone. Doe sat back. "I don't even like you," she said. "I love you too." Doe rolled her eyes. "So, are you going to help me set up the party today?" "I'd love to, but I have an interview and a meet David Doberman after that," David said. David loved little kids. Let's hope he loved his own, Doe thought. "Doe, I have to go, but I'll call you later. Love you," he said, breaking into her thoughts. "I love you too, David." She hung up. "I love you," said a deep voice. Her father. "I love you too," he said in a high voice, pitched voice for a girl. Doe rolled her eyes and threw her pillow at him. Next scene. Tricia came around 3:30 to set up a party. They were in the living room blowing up balloons that said 616 on them. Ted was out to get more balloons and pick up her gift. Doe felt like a balloon. She had so much air and she just needed to release a little pressure. Okay, that's not too bad. Trish, you know you're my best friend, Doe asked. Trish hit the balloon over into a corner. And you're mine, Trish said. We're like sisters, you know? Like white on rice. Dolores tied up a balloon. We're like, she started. Doe, stop spitting on the handle and get the hoe in it. Okay, that's just me. I love watching the Beverly Hillbillies, and that's one of the things he said, so I'll just She reached out to her. Dolores, what's the matter? Doe looked at Tricia and smiled. I might be pregnant, she said. Tricia didn't give away any emotion on her face. She was good at hiding how she felt. Might? She asked. Well, almost certain. Doe told her the whole story, which I did not repeat because I know not to repeat information like that because it's annoying. So Doe told her the whole story. Oddly enough, neither of them cried. So you'll get the results today? Doe nodded on the floor. I'm scared. Tricia pulled her into a hug. I'm here for you. I'm not leaving your side. They spent the rest of the day getting things together and waiting on the phone call. Is that a lot of telling? I feel like that's a lot of telling. Yeah, okay. People started coming around 8:30. Soon teens and adults were everywhere. Tricia, is that Todd from the mall? Doe screamed over the music. Tricia nodded with a big smile. I invited him. I hope it's okay, Tricia said. Yeah, it's about time you got a boyfriend. Tricia bumped her hip. He's not my boyfriend. Doe smiled. Yet. Hey, Todd, over here, Doe called. He walked to her. Happy birthday, Dolores. He kissed her on the cheek. Todd gave Doe a card and some tulips. It's from Amanda and myself. Thanks. I'm going to put these in some water. Enjoy the party, Doe said. Come on, Todd. I want you to meet. Doe didn't hear the rest of the sentence as she made her way to the kitchen. When Doe went back to the party, Todd was around a bunch of boys that were talking about last night's game. That should have been a goal, David said. Doe sat next to him. What you talking about? Doe asked. Football, Doe said. Football or soccer football? Doe asked. David sighed heavily. Doe loved to ask that question. Suddenly, all the music shut off and the lights went out. Doe could hear her dad's voice singing Happy Birthday, the Happy Birthday song, which is that a product placement? Because I know in some places, if you sing that, you have to pay money somewhere. So, Happy Birthday song, product placement. Everyone joined in on the singing. Okay, Doe, make a wish, Todd said. Ted. His name is Ted. I don't know why I keep calling him Todd. I don't know. Make it count, Tricia said, added, flashing away with the camera. Doe knew what she meant. I wish I wasn't pregnant, she thought. No. I wish that well, not was, but not wasn't. How about I wish whatever happens turns out for the best. And that's what she wished for when she blew out her candles. Or at least when she tried. Daddy, I hate trick candles, Doe cried. I know, he said proudly. Everyone laughed. Tricia, a little help? She said. Tricia blew the candles out with her together. After cake and ice cream, Xander pulled Doe onto the dance floor for a slow dance. Great party, he said. I'll do my best. They danced in little circles. I can't wait for you to see my present. I got you, he said. I already know what it is, she teased. What is it? He asked, raising an eyebrow. Now, if I told you, it wouldn't be a surprise, she laughed. I love it when you laugh, he said. Xander pulled her closer to him. I love you, he whispered in her ear. Doe didn't say anything. Xander knew she was dating David. Why does he do this to me? I love him, but only as a friend. David's voice interrupted her thoughts. May I cut in? He asked. Xander stepped back. She's all yours, mate. Because, I use British slang. David smiled as he took Doe's hands. Underneath the smiles, there were two barking dogs ready to fight for the love of Doe. Which I'm starting to be like, why do they even like her? I mean, I don't know. David put his hands around her. When are you going to open your gifts? David whined. Why? They're all mine, Doe said. I want you to see what I got you. Tricia suddenly appeared with a camera. Smile, she said, flashing. Doe blinked. Okay, now when have you kissing? Tricia said. Now? Doe asked. Tricia put her hands on her hips. No, on your wedding day. Yes, now. There's some sassy little people here. Doe rolled her eyes. David leaned in and kissed her. Doe became so lost in the kiss, Tricia watched for a few seconds after taking a photo. Ew. Okay, you can stop now. Hey, there are people here. Fine. I'm gone, Tricia said, shaking her head. Just then, Doe's hips started vibrating. She pulled away and looked at it. It read, Doc. Oh, it's my mom. I'll be right back, Doe said, walking to her bedroom upstairs. Tricia, taking a deep breath, Tricia answered it. Okay, first of all, why is it taking the doctor until 8 o'clock at night to give her the information she needs about whether she's pregnant or not? Okay, I'm just me. That's just me. Okay, so hi, Doc. Dolores, how are you feeling? Doc asked. Sick, Doe assured her. I'm sorry, Doe. You're pregnant. Doe's heart stopped. For sure? She asked, trying to take a breath. Do you want me to come over and help you inform your father? She asked. No! Doe almost yelled. I mean, no thank you. I can do it. I can tell him, she said. Good luck, Doe said before hanging up. Doe looked into the mirror. It's going to be okay, she said before throwing up. As Doe walked back to the party, she managed to paste a smile on her face. She caught Tricia walking to the kitchen. Doe ran after her. Thankfully, Tricia was alone in there. I am. What? Tricia asked. Doe just looked at her. Tricia's eyes got even bigger. She didn't have to say anything for Tricia to get what she was talking about. For real? Doe smiled. For real, for real? A kid in my class used to say that so much. Like, for real? For real, for real. I put that in there. I take from everywhere, man. I take from everywhere. For real, for real. Tricia hugged her. Wow, I'm not sure if I should be happy or sad for you. Doe laughed. I prefer happy. They pulled apart. So when are you going to tell your dad? Tricia asked. Doe looked at her for a minute. I'm not sure. After the party, I guess. They walked out of the kitchen. There she is, David called. Doe smiled at him. Come on, it's time to see how cheap everyone is, he said playfully. Everyone gathered in the living room and watched as she opened her gifts. She opened Anthony's gift first. It was a complete Bath and Body Works in a golden basket. Product placement, Bath and Body Works. Are you trying to tell me something? Doe asked playfully. He gave an evil smile and said, well? She stuck her tongue out at him. Doe opened her gift one by one. Oh, by the way, Anthony, because I didn't explain it, Anthony's the other kid in ZTD. So yeah, Xander, Tony, I think Daniel. So Anthony is Daniel. He's the other actor. They're all best friends. Xander gave her a watch with linking hearts. Her father gave her a new computer. And finally, her last gift was from David. Doe opened the mid-size box. A music box, Doe said, holding up a small mahogany lined with gold in a drawer with a golden knob. It was cute, and Doe loved it, but David had made it sound like he got her something so great. Thank you, David, she said. Open it. Oh, yeah, open it, he whispered. Doe looked at him and then opened the box. She lifted the top. It played the song off the movie Anastasia. Product placement, Anastasia. It was her favorite, Da, da, da. Doe's face lit up. She always wanted a box with this song in it. That's not the best part, he said. He pulled open the drawer and took out a small black box. Oh my God, she said. It was a silver ring that had a small diamond between the words, I love you. Doe looked from the ring to David. Though a thought just passed through her mind. I love you, Dolores. I'm not proposing or anything. Doe heard her dad sigh. Oh, thank God. Everyone laughed. It's a promise ring. He slipped it onto her finger. Promise to keep me in your heart. Promise to be my wife one day, he said, holding her hand. Doe looked at him, frozen in time. Doe, say something, please. Don't you like the ring? Doe hugged him. I'm pregnant, she whispered. Pregnant? David screamed, pulling away. Everyone gasped. Doe! Doe's dad and Xander both jumped up and yelled, What? Doe looked around. I'm pregnant. Mr. McKay walked over to her. Tell me this is a really, just a joke, right? This is just a bad joke, right? It's not. Pregnant, David said. Mr. McKay jumped on David. You're breaking my arm, David yelled. That's only because I can't reach your neck, her dad yelled. And if you don't know where that's from the Rugrats when Stu and his brother Drew are fighting. Daddy, get off him, Doe yelled. With some help, they got Ted and off of David. Are you okay? She asked. Fine. Tricia, get the jet. I don't know why. She said as her father sat down. Tricia walked to the kitchen. Doe looked around. Where's Xander? She asked. Tricia came back in the room. In the kitchen, running water over his head, she said. Mr. McKay took a shot of gin. He downed it all at once. Hit me. Oh wait, is gin a product placement? Or is it just a thing? It's not an actual brand, right? Well, seeing how I didn't know that and gin is capitalized, I'm just gonna product placement, gin. Hit me, he said. Tricia poured him another. Don't let him have more than 3, Doe said. She turned her attention back to a dazed and confused looking David. David, honey, maybe you should sit down, she said, leading him to an empty seat. Anthony got up. Well, that doesn't make sense. Okay. Well, it's been a wonderful party. If you'll follow me to the kitchen and receive your doggy bag, he said. Oh, Anthony said that. Receive your doggy bag, he said. I'll help, Tricia said, taking the shot glass from Mr. McKay. No one said anything until the last person left. Pregnant. My little girl, he said. Daddy, I'm sorry, Doe said, looking down. I'm going to be a daddy, David said. Tricia, Xander, and Anthony came in. Can I be an uncle? Anthony asked. Of course, Tricia's godmother, Xander, godfather, and I'm a grandpa, Ted said. You guys are taking this much better than we thought, Doe said. We? David and Xander asked. Tricia and myself. David rounded on Tricia. You knew it. You didn't say. Tricia held up a hand. I only found out today, just a little earlier, she said, trying to clean up with Anthony's help. David and Ted carried her gifts to the room. Doe looked at Xander. They were alone. Congratulations on the baby, he said in a hard voice. He kissed her on the cheek. I love you. He got in his cart and headed out. Xander, wait up! He turned to look at her with his cold blue eyes. They almost made her trip with such an intense look. Xander, I'm sorry, she said. It's okay. We're just friends anyway, right? He said, trying to laugh. But Xander walked away. Call me later, she said. He just walked on. That was the end of chapter 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe. Give me some predictions. What do you think is going to happen in chapter 2? I already know, so I can't even tell you what I predict. I just already know, I kind of remember what happens in chapter 2. And I will see you next week. All right, bye.